Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here because we are tackling something that is fundamentally reshaping the modern workplace. We're going to explore a framework that will take you all the way from an AI resistor to a full-blown AI orchestrator. And honestly, let me just drop a high-stakes reality on you right out of the gate. Adapting to the new AI economy over the next 18 to 24 months is going to directly dictate your earning potential for the next decade. No pressure, right? But seriously, if you've been feeling overwhelmed by the endless flood of new tech updates, take a breath. You are in exactly the right place.
You know, this feeling of total overwhelm? It's incredibly common. Recently, a friend of one of our source creators, a guy who runs a 200-person company, walked into his own Monday morning meeting and literally couldn't understand half the words his own team was using. They were tossing around terms like RAG, MCP, agents, and vibe coding. I mean, this is the CEO, the guy signing their paychecks. He texted later saying, "I felt like I walked into the wrong office." That genuine anxiety is what we call the AI language shock. It happens when the professional world just changes languages overnight and forgets to send you the memo.
Now, what's really interesting about this next point is a recent MIT study that just revealed a staggering figure. 11.7% of all jobs can be automated right now. That is not some distant sci-fi prediction for 2030, and it's sure not just hype from a tech CEO trying to pump up their stock price. It is a rigorous measurement of what is entirely possible as you and I are sitting here going through this explainer today. This establishes an immediate, real-world urgency to adapt.
Okay, let's dive into this and look at our roadmap for today. We're going to climb step by step from feeling totally overwhelmed to masterfully orchestrating AI. We'll start with the AI language shock, move into acknowledging and dabbling, amplify our skills by mastering the prompt, problem solve by building workflows, and finally, tie it all together with AI orchestration. So let's kick things off with section 1, the AI language shock, and waking up to the new reality. To survive this shock, where a 22-year-old intern can suddenly blast through 2 days of work in just 2 hours, you need the ADAPT framework. It breaks down into 5 stages: acknowledge, dabble, amplify, problem solve, and tie together. Think of this as the maturity ladder. It's the bridge over that massive gap between the people getting left behind and the people making significantly more money doing the exact same job at the exact same desk.
Moving right along to our first 2 stages, acknowledge and dabble. To take this first step, you're going to need a little brutal honesty and a massive mindset shift. You kind of have to stop lying to yourself. You have to stop saying, oh, my job is too creative, or my clients need a real human touch. Look, AI is not just a text chatbot sitting on your phone anymore. It spans across 7 separate worlds: text, data, images, video, voice, code, and automation. If you think you're safe just because you asked ChatGPT to write an email for you last week, you're missing the bigger picture. You have to acknowledge that the people ahead of you aren't necessarily smarter than you. They just started learning this new language 24 months earlier. Once you fully accept that reality, you enter the dabble stage. And honestly, it's pretty chaotic. This is where you might touch 30 or more different tools. You might play with Gamma to instantly build presentations instead of staring at a blank PowerPoint slide, or use Julius AI to analyze a massive Excel file and build charts in 30 seconds just by talking to it. You're not trying to be an expert here. You're just building an intuitive sense, a vibe of what's actually possible. But beware, because 94% of people tragically quit right here. They get overwhelmed, they touch dozens of tools, confuse activity with progress, and give up before seeing any real financial return. Let's move to and see how this builds in stage 3, amplify and mastering the prompt. This is where you stop being a tourist and actually unpack your bags. You pick just 3 to 5 core tools that solve real problems on your desk, and you learn the critical structural interventions to get predictable outputs. To amplify your skills, you've got to understand the vocabulary, starting with a system prompt. Think of this like a plain English analogy briefing a new hire on day 1. You wouldn't just hand a brand new employee a phone and say, "Start answering." No way. You tell them you are a customer support agent, you speak English and Hindi, and if someone yells at you, stay calm and transfer them to a manager. Well, a system prompt does the exact same thing for an AI model.
And this brilliantly illustrates how you can synthesize the 5 core elements of prompt engineering to systematically debug messy outputs. Those elements are role, context, task, constraints, and examples. By giving the AI a specific role, surrounding it with deep context, asking for a rigid task format like a CSV, and adding strict constraints and examples, you take total control. Doing this right can literally save you up to 90 minutes of cleanup time per meeting. Now, here is a specific tactical constraint that's an absolute game changer. It's called the Conditional Clarification Protocol. By simply adding the phrase, "If unclear, output needs clarification and suggest a question," you force the model to stop guessing and stop hallucinating. It completely shifts the interaction from an error-prone guessing game into a safe, verifiable dialogue where the AI actually asks you for help when it gets confused. Another massive concept in the Amplify stage is RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation. This is absolutely vital. It means giving the AI secure access to your specific internal documents. It stops the AI from making things up based on the entire internet and turns it into a highly relevant, deeply knowledgeable junior associate tailored exactly to the data sitting on your desk. Which brings us to stage 4, problem solve, where we start building workflows. Here, the whole paradigm fundamentally shifts. We stop obsessing over individual tools and start stitching them together to solve real, high-friction business problems. To build these workflows, you need to know about MCP, the Model Context Protocol. Before MCP, your AI could only talk to you in a chat window. But think of MCP as the USB port for AI. It allows models to securely plug into your local apps. That means the AI can now actually act. It can draft a message inside your Slack or physically book a meeting right on your calendar. To put that into perspective, let's contrast the expensive, manual, old way of getting ad creatives with the hyper-efficient new way. The old way? You'd hire an agency, pay a ton of money, wait weeks, and maybe get 20 options. The new way uses a multi-agent workflow. You string together Higgsfield for image variations, Claude for writing the copy, Canva for assembly, and Make to push it all directly to meta ads. What used to take weeks now runs entirely overnight, costs a fraction of the price, and delivers 100 localized options by the time you pour your morning coffee. Let me walk you through another incredible real-world workflow. A medical clinic in Chennai was missing 30% of their 1,000 daily calls. Just brutal for business. So they built an automated workflow. Step 1, they listened to real calls. Step 2, they prompted a voice agent to act as a receptionist. Step 3, they connected Sarv AI because it handles Indian languages natively without sounding like a robot. Step 4, using an MCP calendar integration, the AI could actually book slots. And step 5, if a caller complained, the AI escalated it to a human with full context. This single workflow resolved 70% of their daily calls autonomously and saved 3 full salaries in the very first month. As you get into building these complex workflows, you might also hear about fine-tuning. This is the ultimate customization technique. If basic prompting is giving instructions to a general physician, fine-tuning is sending that physician back to medical school to become a cardiac surgeon. It trains a general AI model for one highly specific job to ensure it operates with absolute, flawless precision for your particular enterprise niche.
So what does this all mean for us? Well, the crucial point is that we are currently in an arbitrage window. Those who can orchestrate these multi-tool workflows right now have a massive, albeit temporary, financial advantage over competitors who are still stuck doing basic one-shot prompting in a single chat window. But remember, this window will close once the rest of the world catches up in about 18 to 24 months.
And finally, the grand finale, stage 5, tie together, AI orchestration. At this stage, you are no longer just a hands-on practitioner. You're basically the digital chief of staff, commanding interconnected, autonomous systems. As you reach this peak, you need to internalize 3 enduring principles that guide institutional training at global enterprises today. First, AI might write the code, but humans program the instructions. The AI doesn't know your business goals, only you do. Second, clear thinking is the absolute premium skill. A structured, logical human brief will always outvalue superficial knowledge of 15 disjointed software tools. And third, having AI is just the baseline now. The real competitive edge belongs entirely to workflow design. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly vital question. Are you an employee of AI, or is AI an employee of you? The ADAPT framework proves that one person at stage 5 can literally outproduce a 10-person team stuck back at stage 2. It is entirely up to you to start climbing that ladder today. Move past that messy dabbling phase and claim your rightful role as an orchestrator of the future. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this helps you build your competitive edge, and I will see you next time.